What's up, YouTube? jDantastic here with
Rhymestyle.
Today, we're talking about something that he and I disagree with, and that is Future Gohan and his strength, his ability to become Super Saiyan, and whether or not he could actually keep up with the androids in the future. And so the 3 points that we are going to be discussing, not in any particular order, are: why did Gohan not reach Super Saiyan 2 in the future? Why was he not able to defeat the androids at some point? And why was his Zenkai apparently ineffective throughout the whole time? Because, yeah, so you want to kick it off? You want to make your points? You want to state your case?
Yeah, okay, so let's actually just back up a second and basically tell the story what happened. So we all know what happened based on what Trunks told us, but according to how everything worked out in Trunks' future, between when Namek was blown up and like Goku beat Frieza, between that time to when the androids actually showed up, every Z Warrior's parlay was essentially the same. Vegeta was not that much stronger than he was on Namek. Gohan wasn't about that much stronger. Basically, everybody was somewhat pretty weak, a little bit stronger than Namek, but not that like significantly more powerful. So when the androids showed up, of course, what they do, they wrecked everyone's face, including their mamas, and because of that, it's basically spun off into this dark future where it was just terror and death and chaos for 13 years. And of course, we know what happened after that because Trunks ended up growing up. He started fighting the androids with Gohan. Gohan ended up getting killed. And then, of course, Bulma built a time machine.
Wait, Gohan died?
Well, yeah, Gohan died.
Spoilers?
He died it.
Oh.
But Bulma did build the time machine at this point, and that's when Trunks went back in the past, and we all know the story from right there. However, I believe that there is some plot holes there because the androids should not have been around that long where they didn't get destroyed. I feel like Gohan should have been strong enough at one point where he could have easily destroyed them. Maybe not immediately, but it definitely should have lasted, what, 13 years at the time?
Something like that. And I disagree. I feel like it was portrayed accurately in the history of Trunks.
Well, why don't you kick us off why you believe that?
You want me to start it off?
Yes.
I mean, okay, all right, fine. The reason that I agree with the fact that Gohan is not strong enough to defeat the androids is, because as you said, basically when the whole thing goes down, he's not that powerful. I mean, he's basically the same strength he was on Namek, which was not very strong. And not only that, since if, you know, Trunks didn't come back, obviously, in this timeline to warn them, then they don't know that the androids are coming, so he wouldn't have received training from Goku, effectively the best DBZ fighter and probably the best person to train Gohan, so he wouldn't have received that training. He wouldn't have spent any time in the hyperbolic time chamber, in which he went Super Saiyan, so he wouldn't technically be a Super Saiyan yet anyway. So it's my belief that over the course of 13 years, he did get more powerful, obviously, because he did reach the Super Saiyan state, but he just wasn't, I mean, he wouldn't have reached Super Saiyan 2. He just wouldn't have made it there because he didn't receive any of that extra training boost.
You know, I feel like when people start dying at the very beginning, it should have been enough to push Gohan over the limit. I feel like he should have gone Super Saiyan as a kid. I mean, we don't know when he went Super Saiyan in that future, but I feel like after, you know, even if someone like Vegeta died, it should have made Gohan angry enough because Gohan was the type of person that he would just get angry and get this huge power boost and just wreck anything. Now, obviously, he would have been strong enough to fight the androids even with that power boost, but I feel like he should have gone Super Saiyan around the time when everybody started dying. And between that point and 13 years, he should have achieved Super Saiyan 2 at some point because, you know, the androids were continuously just terrorizing the planet, killing people left and right, blowing up cities. And at the same time, they were also fighting Gohan and beating him almost to death every single time because they didn't want to kill him yet because they wanted to play around with him. So why didn't he get, first of all, why didn't he go Super Saiyan 2 is a question. And two, why didn't his Zenkai boost power him and give him enough of a power boost to beat the androids after every single defeat? Why the last 13 years? And then why, on top of that, did he end up ultimately not killing them in the end?
So, I actually have some counterpoints for this.
Okay.
So, the reason that when he watches everyone dies, obviously, he's watching everyone get killed, he goes Super Saiyan for the first time, right? But every other point in the show, when he gets, like, really mad, it's just a burst. It's not something that he can control. So, again, when he's in the hyperbolic time chamber, you know, he's training with Goku, who is already a Super Saiyan, and Goku basically trains him and himself to master the Super Saiyan state. So even if Gohan was angry enough with everyone dying and he's standing there and he's screaming and he's all, I can't believe you're killing everyone, he goes Super Saiyan, and then he, you know, kind of beats them up a little bit, but not really because he's still not that strong, because a Super Saiyan isn't strong enough to keep up with the androids, for one. And then he just powers back down, and then he probably had to try a lot more training and things to even try to harness it, to control it, to be able to, like, master the Super Saiyan state, which he didn't do. It always happened in small bursts. Like,
well, here's how I feel about that. And I noticed this in the future because you could tell that that Gohan was, you know, he's seen some shit. That Gohan definitely sees some shit. And you could tell by the time Gohan was training Trunks and, you know, ultimately ended up getting killed, he didn't show symptoms of him getting angry and like getting those bursts because I feel like he had already learned to control his power at that point.
Right, but he had to learn it. So in the timeline, there's like 13 years, right? So if the androids don't show up for 3 years, then you've only got 10 years left, and I'm sure that the Z Fighters weren't all killed right away. Say, I don't know, how many years do you think that took?
Well, no, it was 13 years that they were around. So ultimately, it was like 16 years with Trunks' like lifespan. But they were around for 13 years before he ended up going down.
Okay, but that's not. I mean, that's not that long. I mean,
but the other thing is the Zenkai boost, based on how badly you get beat up and how fast you heal, it gives you huge power. Like we saw. Originally, we saw Vegeta go from 18,000 to 24,000 when he got wrecked by Goku, and then on Namek he went from 24,000 to 30,000 after he got wrecked by Zarbon. But then after that, when he got in the fight with Raccoon, he went from 30,000 to about 500,000, where he was actually able to match Frieza's power level in the first form. And because of that, I feel like, you know, when you get those kind of power boosts based on how badly you get beat, I feel like, you know, you should have gotten enough power boosts. I mean, even if you got, you know, even if Gohan got wrecked like 3 or 4 times, that should have been enough to give him a huge power boost where he'd be able to keep up with the androids.
But so you're saying that you think that the Zenkai boosts you depending on how badly you get beaten and how fast you recover, right?
And wait, just before we go, in case you guys don't know what a Zenkai boost is, Zenkai boost is what it's called when a Saiyan gets beaten to near death state and it recovers and comes back stronger. That's what Zenkai boost is, to those who don't know.
Yeah.
But what were you saying?
So you think that the boost that you get depends on how badly you get beaten and how fast you recover, right?
Yes, I definitely believe that.
And so you think that the faster you recover, the stronger you get, right?
Correct.
Okay, so here are my counterpoints to this argument.
You have a good counterpoint. You have a good counterpoint right here. I'll give you that one.
And I thought of another one too. So Gohan never actually gets beaten that badly. I mean,
well, we don't know that. We don't know that though.
He doesn't get beaten badly enough to die, and he's. Think about it.
He had scars on him. That's the other thing. You know, he got in some serious fights between when he was a kid, when the Angels first showed up, to the point where he actually died. He had a lot of scars on him. And those scars signify like actual.
Maybe Piccolo did that to him when he was trying to train him, you know, in secret when they were trying to prepare for the androids. We don't know. We don't know how badly he got.
They didn't prepare for the androids.
We don't know how badly he got beaten, and not only that, if the androids had been around for this long and they're killing everyone off, there's probably enough evidence there to believe that there weren't like sensu beans or anything around. So if Gohan really did get beaten that bad, he's not healing up fast. He's gonna have to like go lay in bed for months at a time to try to get healthy again.
You have a really good point right there. I'm not even gonna lie. That was a really good point. That was a really good point.
So he's not getting these huge boosts.
Even still, you should have gotten decent boosts because, like, based on the other factors that got boosts is how badly you get defeated. Because we seen Vegeta when when Krillin blew blew a hole in his chest. We seen him go from a power level of about 500,000 to. So we don't know what the actual power level was, but it was definitely under base Goku's level, but above Frieza's first form. So he was definitely like, if Vegeta would have gone Super Saiyan, he probably could have like fought with Final Form Frieza. Like I still think that Frieza and Final Form could have wrecked Super Saiyan Vegeta at the time, but at least like it shows you that he had a pretty massive power boost from getting the shot in the chest.
But he had a hole in his chest. He literally got a hole in his chest. Gohan, I mean, we can say that he might have gotten beat up pretty bad, but he never got a hole in his chest because he would have died.
I mean, we don't know. Again, we don't know. We've seen some crazy recoveries. We don't know how many times, like how many they even had sensu in the future. They had to have had some. Like at some point, they should have had like, you know, at least one batch of sensu beans. We don't know that part. Like,
and actually, I just thought about this one. So when Gohan actually does go Super Saiyan 2 in the actual timeline, it's because he knows that there's effectively like there's no hope. He's essentially given up. He knows that if he does not win, if he doesn't fight to his fullest extent and release all of his power, then Cell is going to destroy everything and take over everything effectively. There's no hope. And the androids they're not actually that strong. They're not, I mean, in reality, it's terrible. They're effectively, you know, terrorizing the Earth, but they're not that powerful. So there's still kind of hope. So maybe Gohan, the reason that he didn't...
There was no hope in the future.
No hope.
Like, and the other question I have is...
There were still people alive. They were going to stores and buying clothes.
This is the question actually I have that, you know, I want you to answer as well as... By the way, at any point throughout this video, when you guys say any point, feel free to comment below in the comment section below, both mine and Danny's video. Now here's the point I actually have. I have a question for you, like a random question for you. Why did it take the androids 13 years to blow up all the cities? Like, how did they still have cities after 13 years?
Exactly. And see,
because I've seen them blow up a city in like a quick second. So how did it not already destroy everything by the time 13 years passed?
That's another point. I don't think that they were actually that bad. I think the only reason that the Z fighters got killed is because they tried to fight them, and because it's even stated like in the show that the sole purpose of the androids was to like kill Goku, essentially.
No, the sole purpose of 16 was to kill Goku.
Well, but the other androids were on board.
The sole purpose of Android 17 and 18 was to kill to destroy humanity. They even said it was when Trunks was asking them, he's like, "Why do you do this to us?" They both, I think it was 17 who said it. 17 said because we hate humans. When we see humans, we get angry. The whole purpose was to kill humans. I mean, so why did it take them 13 years?
But still, they're also. I mean, that obviously changes. We saw that. I mean, 18 becomes good. And that, like, they go around, she promises that store owner that she's not going to blow up his store. I mean, 17 does it anyway. But, like, they're not, I guess I'm trying to say that they're not entirely evil. They're not just randomly evil. Like, maybe they just didn't care anymore. I mean, if their sole purpose was to destroy humanity, then what would they do? I mean, they leave things around for, like, playthings, I guess.
They were clearly having fun. But that also goes back to Gohan. They kept Gohan alive for 13 years because they knew if they killed Gohan, they would have no one to play with anymore. Which then goes back to my point, is how did he not get enough of a Zenkai boost from all those fights to go Super Saiyan 2 or to get enough power to destroy the Angels? That's the question I want to know. I feel like he should have.
Ooh,
like, the history of Trunks is a plot hole.
What about this?
Go ahead.
What if Gohan's Zenkai boost isn't as powerful as Goku or Vegeta's because he's only half Saiyan? Maybe he only gets half the boost.
I don't know how I want to judge that. Only because I read stuff online that says partial Saiyans do still have the advantage of a Zenkai boost because they have the Saiyan blood in them. It doesn't take a full Saiyan to like get the full advantage of the Zenkai boost. You just have to have part Saiyan blood.
But it could affect how it actually gives you power, though.
Well, I don't know, because we've seen Gohan get some ridiculous boosts.
Yeah, but the most boosts came from when he got his power unlocked, though.
Well, he had his power unlocked technically at that point, didn't he? It was after Namek.
Unlocked on Namek, yeah.
I don't know, this is a tough one. I mean, I guess this is a question that we should turn over to the wonderful folks in the comment section here. Because obviously, I believe that Gohan, like, the history of Trunks is a plot hole. The entire freaking future is a plot hole. And Gohan should have at least, like, he should have gone Super Saiyan 2. He should have gone Super Saiyan 2. Like, we know how angry Gohan gets and how it's like, when there's, as you said, there's no hope, he just, unleashes his power. And at that point, it's like, all the Z Warriors are dead, no hope. Dragon Balls are gone, no hope. And now you're seeing cities fall left and right. No hope. The other thing I noticed is, like, when they showed the, you saw how angry Trunks was getting when he heard the news report that, Androids were wrecking the town. And, like, I feel like Gohan should have gotten a lot angrier to the point where he would have gone Super Saiyan 2 or something to be able to get enough power to destroy the androids.
I don't know, because no one, I mean, at that point, no one had told him that. The whole reason it happened in the Cell games, I mean, there was a lot of factors. There was the fact that there was no hope. It was because Android 16 was all, Gohan, just let it go. And he watches his friend get crushed, and Goku's all yelling at him, and he's like, release your power, release your power. And he probably never had that in the future. Like, they never...
Here's another thing. Like, when Android 16 got crushed, like, he didn't know Android 16. The only reason why he got so angry about Android 16 getting crushed is because, like, Android 16 loved life. But can you argue that Gohan cared more about Piccolo, his dad, and his Z Warriors rather than a freaking machine?
Yeah, he cared more, but again, no one was like coaching him. No one was telling him to like release that power.
But he still should have released it. Like,
yeah, and he probably did. He released it when he went Super Saiyan, and then he still had to harness it. And there's this. I think the problem is there's too many unknowns because one, we don't know how many times he actually fought the androids. Maybe he only fought them once or twice and got those scars from those first two fights, and he knew that he wasn't strong enough to defeat them, so he spent a lot of time training. And if he was just training, then obviously he wouldn't get the magnificent boost that the Zenkai gives him. So I mean, there's a lot up in the air that we don't know, that we can't just say.
You know what? I will accept that. I will accept that. You believe that he should have killed him. I believe he should have killed him. So I guess we'll just keep it at that. But this is going to be fun because I want to hear what every single person that watches the video says about this as well. So be sure to leave all your theories and comments in the comment section below, both my videos, on my video and Danny's video. And of course, read what everybody else says too. I want this debate to be among all of us, not just me, you, and the people who watch the videos. I want you guys to like read other people's comments, respond to that, and just basically start this fun, epic, amazing, incredible Dragon Ball Z debate about what happened in the future.
I got one more point. I got one more point. He probably would have won. We almost saw him win. I think
that's true.
In that last fight, even with one arm left, I think he would have won that battle if like Trunks wouldn't have gotten in the way and they were about to kill Trunks. I think he could have won that fight. If it wasn't that fight, it was going to be the next one.
I think he could have won the next. I think he could have won the next fight, but he just had one arm. Because we saw him keeping up with the androids better than ever. But the fact that he had one arm, there were two of them, it was really, really tough.
So there you go. I mean, I think, you know, maybe
now the question is what would have happened? So from my understanding, if you eat a senzu bean immediately, if you have severe damage, so like when his arm got destroyed, if you would have eaten that senzu bean, theoretically it should have healed his senzu. It should heal his arm. So now the question, I wonder if that would have worked.
The senzu bean can't grow limbs back though, right?
No, it's apparently if it's immediate. So like if your arm is completely destroyed, because we don't know how much his arm was actually destroyed if it was actually blown off. It could have been hanging off by a limb. But apparently, if you eat a senzu bean, like right when you take that like initial hit, like if I were to chop off most of your arm and you eat a senzu bean, your arm will heal. Your arm will heal.
Yeah, I suppose.
But now the question is, it's like, what if? Like I feel like Trunks didn't even need that senzu bean. He just gave it to him because it's like, what would Goku do? Ooh, that's another good one.
True.
Ooh.
But imagine this. Imagine if Gohan right there did kill the androids, and then Trunks was like, all right, cool, and then he never went back in time, so everyone was just dead forever.
I mean, that would have just been a new timeline. I mean,
that would have been so terrible. I mean, you would hope that he would go back in time anyway. Like even if the androids were destroyed in the future, Trunks would be like, I'm still gonna go back in time because you know everyone's dead. So
all I'm saying is why didn't they find new Namek after that too? It was just like, hey, let's switch back Piccolo. You know what I'm saying? Like gotten Piccolo back, and they could have done that. Like, let's be real. If Bulma can build a time machine, I'm sure she can build some kind of universe scanner that finds out where Planet Namek is. Now, I know Planet Namek was far, because it originally took Goku quite a bit of time to, like, sense where the Namekians were and, like, is a transmission over there. But I still feel like Bulma could have done that.
I mean...
But that's a whole other debate.
We're just gonna keep Toriyama probably forgot. Probably forgot that New Namek was even a thing.
I don't know. This is going to be a fun one. I can't wait to see what everybody says. So make sure you guys leave your comments below. And yeah, and of course, if you enjoyed the video, be sure you punch that like button right in the face. And also subscribe to Danny's channel because you can tell Danny knows his Dragon Ball Z and he has got a lot of awesome content. And vice versa. If you're on Danny's channel and you haven't seen mine, you should come here because I have free candy sometimes that I don't actually give out.
He has never once given out a free piece of candy.
But I have videos and Dragon Ball Z stuff, and it's, yeah, we can just take it from there. So yeah. All right, do you have any last couple words or anything?
No, I'm good.
Cool. Okay, well, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to leave your comments below, and we'll just take it from there. My name is Rhymestyle, and I'm with
jDantastic.
And we will see all you awesome Super Sandwiches in the comment section below. Peace.